Okay, it's time for our capital mysteries. When we last left Casey and Marshall, they had heard rockets shooting out of the FBI building, and they were going with the president to figure out what exactly was happening. So, chapter 2 is called The Clue in the Trash Can. Let's see if this gets us any closer to what actually happened in the FBI building. At 10 the next morning, the president, Casey, and Marshall left the White House for the FBI building. The president's black car dropped them off in front of the broad marble steps. A pair of Marine guards came to attention outside the entrance. The two men reached for the doors and pulled them open. "Thank you," President Thornton said as he and the kids entered. The director of the FBI waited just inside the lobby. He shook the president's hand. "The fire chief is here also," Desmond Smiley said, and he led the president and the kids through the lobby, past the guard's desk, to a small meeting room. A large man in a blue suit stood up. "Good morning, Mr. President," he said. "Good morning, Chief," the president said, as everyone sat around the table. "So, what have we found out?" "I believe someone deliberately shot those rockets, but wanted to make it look like it was an accident," the fire chief said. He glanced at a small notebook. "They're called Zinger rockets, by the way." "So this wasn't an accident?" the president asked. "That's unlikely," the fire chief said. "A spark flying through the open window could have started the fire, but someone needed to hold the rockets in a position where they'd fly out of the window." Casey felt Marshall kick her under the table. "I was right," he hissed. Casey nodded but didn't answer. She wanted to hear what was being said. "I think he used the metal trash can as his launching pad," the fire chief was saying. The president tapped a pen on the tabletop, and he turned to the fire chief. "Was anyone in the building when your crew got there?" "Yes, sir. A guard," the chief said. "Name of Joe Kalicki. Worked in the building for 16 years. He told us it was a normal Friday night for a holiday until the rockets started flying out of the window." "Who uses that office?" the president asked. 5 secretaries, the director said. "Did you question them?" the president asked. "Yes," the director told him. "All longtime employees. When they left, the door was locked and the window was shut." "And I'm guessing none of them admitted to bringing Zinger rockets into the office," the president sighed. "Yes, sir," the director said. "If they are telling the truth, someone else came in after they left and fired the rockets. Why? I can't imagine. Unless it was just some 4th of July prank." The president stood up. "I would like to see the room where all this took place," he told the FBI director. "Certainly," Desmond Smiley said. "Follow me, please." The president and the kids followed the director to the lobby. "Why doesn't Mr. Smiley ever smile?" Marshall whispered to Casey. Casey shook her head. "Maybe he does when there's something to smile about." Mr. Smiley led them to a pair of elevators. They took one to the 3rd floor. Mr. Smiley used a key to open an office several doors down the hallway from the elevator. "This is where it happened," he said. They all stepped into the room. Casey saw 5 desks, 5 computers, and a wall of metal filing cabinets. Opposite the door were 2 windows. Under one sat a metal wastebasket with a red pizza box sticking out of it. "Ooh, what's that smell?" Casey asked, and she wrinkled up her nose. "It's burned powder," the fire chief said, "from the rockets." The president walked over and looked inside the trash can. He opened one of the windows, then picked up the can. He tipped it so the can's opening rested against the window's ledge. "Could someone have shot the rockets this way, Desmond?" the president asked. "I think so, sir," the FBI director said. "The rockets would shoot straight out of the window." "Marshall, look at this," Casey cried excitedly. She pulled the red pizza box out of the can. One whole side was burned and blackened. Bits of the cardboard crumbled when she opened the lid. "Empty," Marshall said. "Not even a piece of crust left." "I suppose there'll be one of those unsolved mysteries," the president said. "We'll never know for sure why someone fired rockets from this room." Casey shot Marshall a look. She was sure something weird was going on here. And there was something about that pizza box that bothered her. "Ready to go, kids?" the president asked. "Ready," Casey said. The director led them from the office. "What's in all those other rooms?" Marshall asked as they walked towards the elevator. "We have staff meetings in those rooms every morning," Director Smiley said. "The office next to it is where we put together the 10 most wanted list." He pointed to a third door. "And this one is the office of the Federal Witness Protection Program." "What's that?" Marshall asked. "When witnesses go to court for big trials, the criminals usually go to prison. Naturally, they're angry at their witnesses, so to protect them, the FBI offers them a new identity and a new place to live. That way the bad guys, or their friends, can't find them." "Cool," Marshall said. The president and the other kids rode the elevator back to the lobby. A few minutes later, they stepped into the waiting car. "We're ready to go," President Thornton told the driver. Could we stop and get a pizza?" Casey asked. "Seeing that box made me hungry." The president laughed. "Me too," he said. He leaned forward. "Matt, could you take us to the closest pizza shop, please?" "What are you doing, Casey?" Marshall whispered. "I know you. I'd bet anything that you're not hungry. So what's up?" "I have a hunch," Casey said, watching the traffic whiz by. "I think the pizza box is a very important clue." "Sir, would you like me to call ahead for the pizza first?" the driver asked the president. "This traffic is pretty bad right now." "Good idea," the president said. "Okay, kids, what do you want on your pizza?" "Pepperoni," Marshall said. "Broccoli," added Casey. "I want cheese and mushrooms. Did you get all that, Matt? And make it a large." Matt called in the pizza order, and soon he pulled the car to a stop in front of the Round Town Pizza. Inside the wide glass were booths, an old-fashioned jukebox, and a counter holding stacks of empty pizza boxes. "It's under my name, sir," Matt said. "Would you like me to go in?" The president smiled. "No, the kids can handle this deal," he said, and he gave Casey some money. Casey and Marshall hopped out of the car and entered the shop. The man behind the counter smiled. "Welcome to Round Town Pizza. Best pizza for miles," he said. "We're picking up a large pizza for Matt," Casey told the man. "Just pulled it out of the oven," the man said. "Let me box it up for you." Casey and Marshall watched as the man expertly slid the large pizza into a flat pizza box. "That'll be $12, he said. Casey paid and picked up the box. "Do you know a pizza place that uses red boxes?" she asked the man behind the counter. "Nope, most places use plain brown boxes, just like ours," the man said. "Thanks anyway," Casey said, and then she frowned. Now, why was the pizza box bothering her? It wasn't just that it was red, not brown, was it? Chapter 3 is called Fooling the FBI. So I think Casey has a hunch. I wonder what it is, and I wonder what she's thinking about that red pizza box. Okay, we'll hear Chapter 3 soon.